morning.
And welcome to Unity of Kona. Happy Mother's Day. I feel so lucky to be on the platform today because it is Mother's Day and I get to do it for my mom. A few things, if you do need to use the bathroom, there is a bathroom key. I don't know if it's, I don't see it there right now. It's on that big spoon, which means someone might be in that bathroom.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, there it is. So if you need it, just go ahead and it's right around that building. And don't forget to put one of those parking passes in your window. So now that we got that out of the way, we're going to start by saying our affirmation of the month. And I will say it first, or let's all say it together at the same time. Let's all say it together. I am filled with appreciation for life. I am grateful. And let's now sing our opening song, Stand Together. So if you'll all rise. I'm not going to sing, but I'm going to dance up here.
Today's daily word is motherly love. I bless and give thanks to all mothers everywhere. I praise their fortitude and commitment and applaud each one's tireless, selfless devotion. I am in awe and admiration for the diverse, beautiful expressions of the sacred activity of motherhood throughout the world. Reflecting on mothers, I take a moment to recognize that the glorious spirit of maternal love abides in me, no matter what my gender. I am grateful for my capacity for boundless patience and unconditional love as I support, protect, strengthen, and nurture others. Motherly devotion found both within and all around me enriches the world beyond measure. May you be made strong with all the strength that comes from this glorious power, and may you be prepared to endure everything with patience. Colossians 1:11. And the daily word is, I give thanks for the abiding strength of motherly love. Everybody? I give thanks for the abiding strength of motherly love.
Thank you, Don. Mother's Day. Wonderful. We want to be sure that everyone takes their carnations, which is an old symbol from Mother's Day. So if your mother is living, please take a red carnation. And if your mother has passed, then please take the white. And they're over there. And we also have lots of gardenias too. So feel free to take them as well. And at this moment, I invite you to visualize our sanctuary as a beautiful heart. So we see this heart moving in and around and through each one of us back into Sunday school. And just see this heart filling with all the love, the caring, and the compassion that we have for ourselves and each other. Allow this heart to be filled with that love. Right here and right now. And if you know of anyone in need of prayer, see them in our heart. And if you have any circumstance in your world or in our world, of which there are many, we lovingly place them in our heart as we sing the prayer for protection. That was beautiful. That's our wonderful Larry Sire just treating us on Mother's Day. Yeah, so how is everyone today? Are you freezing there? Yeah. And this row is like hotter than heck. If we could ever get this adjusted, wouldn't it be great? Yes, yes, yes. How is everyone on this Mother's Day? Wonderful. We have a special treat for you today, and it's something that we've not done before, and it's just going to be a wonderful blessing. It's a great blessing for me because I had the opportunity, because we always look for the good in everything that happens, even when it doesn't feel good. So I got bit by something and got an infection on my face. And so as of Friday, I still couldn't talk very well because I couldn't open my mouth at all. And my lip was swollen and it was funky and all that good stuff. And it was like, okay, God, what do you want me to do? That was Thursday night. Because I've been praying. I use the Pray app all the time. And so I was sending in prayer requests, listening to meditations. And that night on Thursday, it was like, okay, God, if my face looks like this, I feel like this, there's no way I can do Sunday. And I was like, but it's Mother's Day. It's an anniversary for me of the very first time I ever platformed and did the meditation, like over 35 years ago at Unity. And so it's a special day for me. And my guidance was, ask all the wonderful mothers you know to share what Mother's Day means to me. And so Friday when I went to the doctor, I have the kind of doctor, we have a great relationship, and I asked her if she was available to talk on Sunday. And she goes, I'm too shy. I can't do that. And so Friday, I just pondered it all, and so I sent out an email, and I asked for a special request. And if I asked people to take it into prayer, if they were available, if they would come and share with us the beauty of Mother's Day. And all of them are mothers, grandmothers, stepmothers, motherly people in this world, and who share and give. And so they're going to share with us today. And then during our offertory, Shaula's going to do a hula for us. So it's a really blessed day for Mother's Day. And we have flowers. We want you to please take these beautiful gardenias that Kealoha drops off. And just know that mother energy, was, like I said in the meditation, whether you're male or female, that nurturing, loving spirit is in every one of us. We care. We absolutely care about ourselves and each other. And that's the beauty of unity. You're able to come to unity and feel free to do this. And so there's no particular order that we have for our loving women to speak. But I thought it'd be appropriate if I started with my daughter, because her eyes are big. Virginia said, I don't want to be first. But Sasha will do this for me, because she's been my rock this week, because it's been an adventure. We know that. And so here you go. This is my daughter, Sasha Knowles.
Well, I feel very lucky to be here with my mom. My other siblings are all on Oahu, so I get to be here to celebrate with my mom. So I feel special about that. So Mother's Day 2016. This was my gift that I opened this morning from my littlest guy. He made at school. And I really think that for Mother's Day, that sums it up in one word. If I was to say one word, is love. And in Hawaiian, it's ha'olila makuahine is how you say it. Ha'olila makuahine. So when I think of I made a prop, I am my mother's daughter. Sure.
I know nothing about
No, she doesn't. This was last night. I went through. So when I was thinking of what love meant to me, I think of the infinity symbol. So that's where I had to make it sparkle, because I'm always about sparkles. And it didn't come out how I wanted it to. I was like, it's not even. And I went, that's okay. I realized that's part of the process. That it's okay because it's still always connected, and that the love never ends. So being a mom to me, as well as having the awesome mom that I have, means that it never begins and it never ends. The love just always is. The love is always flowing. And so this is when I first became a mom, almost 20 years ago. I can't believe I've been a mom for 20 years now. So these were just some of the pictures of my 4 children that I had, and I had come up with that meant being a mom to me and represented that love. And I am so lucky that I have learned how to be a mom from my mom. We can put this down for a minute. Well, I guess I can flip it over. So this is all about my mom on this side. She didn't know this. So this is all my mom. Me and her when I was younger. She's holding my brother there, but just that's a picture I picture of my mom when I think of her holding one of us, including my children, me and my sisters, her sister, and this is at a YOU event when I became international officer. And so these were all important moments. Yeah, this was at Unity Village, this picture taken here, so that was what was special to me. And so you don't have to hold it this whole time if you don't want. I'll put it right here. Thanks. It has glitter coming off of it everywhere. And so I found this poem that I'd like to share entitled Mother's Love. It said, and this is to my mom. Your arms were always open when I needed a hug. Your heart understood when I needed a friend. Your gentle eyes were stern when I needed a lesson. Your strength and love has guided me and gave me wings to fly. And this is by Sarah Mean. And so I felt inspired after I had read that poem. And so I just brainstormed all the words that my mom meant to me. And I mean, those just are some of them. And I think there's probably even more. Amazing, strong, beautiful, gentle, faith, talented, brave. Coming up here every Sunday, she's brave. I'm telling you, this is not as easy as I thought it would be. And I only have 3 minutes, so. The love of music. I'm a dance teacher because of the music that we listen to music always, from jazz to oldies, and danced in our room. I used to get dressed up like her when she'd go teach aerobics. I put on my leg warmers and my pantyhose that didn't fit to be like her when she would go teach her classes. Unconditional love, and that was the infinity symbol, because no matter what, I always feel loved, even when I'm mad at her. And I feel that that's how she's taught me to be a mom too. Even if my children, I mean, at times it's been the most wonderful, amazing, difficult, challenging experience being a mom, but that doesn't ever change the love I feel for my children or my mom. I have one last quote. When I was growing up, I was always told the song by Stevie Wonder, Isn't She Lovely, was my song. It came out the year I was born, and so has sung it to me my whole life. So that's awesome that I've been able to thought how lovely I was since I was younger. So I found this quote by Stevie Wonder, and he says, "Mama was my greatest teacher, a teacher of compassion, love, and fearlessness. If love is as sweet as a flower, then my mom is that sweet flower of love."
Nice.
So that's what. And now I'll present Dawn.
I always think Reverend Deb's like really brave when she lets me have a microphone outside of singing. Anyway, well, I have a little bit of a different story that's got a little bit of a twist on it. But my childhood was kind of wild. Grew up kind of in a wild family of 6 kids. And I typed this out, so I'm just going to read it because that's easier for me. What being a mother means to me. I was born in 1955 into a big family of 6 children in Adrian, Michigan. Both of my parents worked full-time and shared duties raising us, but as soon as my older sister was old enough to babysit, my parents spent more time out socializing without us than they spent with us. This left us pretty much on our own, as my 14-year-old sister didn't have much control over us hooligans, and we were wild kids, believe me. There was some touching family moments, but definitely not an Ozzie and Harriet show. My mother used to tell people that she only wanted 1 child, but got 6 instead. True story. Grew up with that. I stumbled through my childhood and took over cooking and watching my younger brothers and sisters when my parents divorced at the age of 13. My childhood did not make for a very nurturing environment, but I do believe it was the beginning of the strong woman I am today. I learned early in life that the only person I could depend on was me, and my mantra was that I would never be like my parents. I fell in puppy love at the age of 17 and became pregnant with my daughter Laura at the age of 18. I was encouraged to get an abortion as that was a popular option in the 70s, but I just couldn't go through with it and gave birth to Laura on Friday, December 13th, 1974. To this day, I consider Friday the 13th a very lucky day. Even though I did marry the baby daddy, it was a disaster from day one, as we were just too young to make this work. I became a single parent when Laura was 2 years old and remained a single parent for the next 10 years. I was fortunate to have a lot of really good girlfriends to help me with Laura, as there was a time when I worked 3 jobs to make ends meet. When they say it takes a village to raise a child, that is what Laura experienced during these formative years, and she had many strong female roles around her. This time period was challenging for me, as I wasn't able to spend much time with her, and I can remember having nightmares that I would forget her birthday or Christmas or some school event. True nightmares. My second marriage brought myself and Laura to Hawaii, where she finished high school and then traveled back to Michigan State University. Being so far away from home and each other, she also became a very independent and intelligent young lady. If she had to call me to help her financially, which was extremely rare, she would be in tears and very upset to ask. Today, I see my daughter as a strong woman, loving mother, amazing daughter, supportive wife, and a good friend to her girlfriends. She never fails to tell me how much I inspired her as a mother and is blessed to be my daughter. I see how she inspires her son, Vinny, to be the best he can be every day. To me, this is what being a mother is all about, raising your children to be the best that they can be so that they pay it forward to their children. Well-adjusted children can only contribute to peace in their communities and benefits the world as a whole. God bless the moms. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, and this is a picture of me and my daughter. We celebrated her 40th and my 60th birthday on an Alaskan cruise last summer.
Well, my message is short and sweet. We were given 3 minutes, but I think it's probably even half of that. Closer.
Right in your
Can you?
face.
Yes?
Just
Huh?
point it at your
There you
face.
go. At your
At the
mouth.
top.
At your mouth.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Okay.
Now, how am I going to read? Okay. So, what does Mother's Day mean to me?
How about if you introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm Moira Silva. Okay. On Mother's Day, I find myself reminiscing about the times when our 4 children were little, and then the middle years, followed by the teenage years, and now the average age is 50. Makes me pretty old. Anyway, we had some very good times and some difficult years too, but I'm sure they always knew we loved them unconditionally. Now in the later years, our children have been right there for us when needed, due to illness, surgeries, or other stresses. They also come together and give us parties or help in celebrating special birthdays or anniversaries. I feel overwhelmed, amazed, and comforted by their generosity. I know I'm very fortunate and blessed to have them all in my life. I still blow a kiss and bless them when I see their pictures on the wall of our bedroom each night. Yes, Mother's Day is so much more than brunches and flowers. They're very nice too. I'm used to using my hands, you know, this is awkward anyway. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Carla Sire, and I brought visuals too. A phone and then a visual of what has happened with my mom. When I read the message that Deb sent to us, I thought, oh my gosh, am I going to talk for 3 minutes about all the things I got into as a child? No. Am I going to talk about what I did to my own children and what they got into? No. So I decided to make it short and sweet. And the thing that I think of most of all on Mother's Day is unconditional love, because I know I felt that with my own mom. Not always did I tell the truth, but somehow she saw through that and she knew, and she still loved me anyway. With my own children, it was the same way. I could tell when they weren't telling the truth, and we would talk through it, and sometimes they'd confess and sometimes they wouldn't, but that's okay. I still love them. So what I want to do today is thank all the mothers. And I know it's not just mothers. Sometimes fathers fill that role. Sometimes aunts fill that role. Sometimes grandmothers fill that role. And I just want to thank everyone for the unconditional love that you give your children and your grandchildren, because they need it. And sometimes it's just a matter of helping them out when they're little and stepping back and letting them do whatever it is they need to do, succeed or fail, and still being there, waiting for that call for them to say, Mom, I need you. And you drop everything and you go. And that's what's being a mother. Diana gave me something, and I hope I can get through it. And it's a symbol for all of you that your mothers have passed. My mother passed 15 years ago now. And every time something special happens in my life, the first thing I want to do is call Mom and share it with her. But today I'm going to share this with you.
And thank you, Diana, for giving it to me. Mother, you left us beautiful memories. Your love is still our guide. Although we cannot see you, you're always still inside. And so thank you, mothers everywhere.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carla. This is a cloth photo that Jerry Rothstein, if you remember him, Jerry Rothstein made in 1980 of my mother and me when she came to visit me. So I'll let you do the math to figure out how many days, how many years. Okay, you don't have to keep holding it. Just put it back. Okay. Reverend Deb's email to me said she wanted me to talk 3 minutes on what Mother's Day means to me. So, since I have 3 minutes, I'm going to talk like the newscasters, fast.
Oh, you have lots of time.
Okay. To me, this is a day that I can reflect upon all the wonderful things my mother did for me. I am sure you can too. It is a day that is printed on our calendars so we all can remember to honor and be thankful for our mothers. However, it isn't the only day we think of our mothers. I can imagine that many situations and circumstances during the day occur that make you think of your mother. My mother is no longer present with me, but many things that she taught me are planted in my memory. Many of the values she taught me, I live by them today, such as be kind to others and always say your prayers before you go to bed at night. I asked my husband, Doc, what did Mother's Day mean to him? I asked him to tell me in 3 sentences, as I had 3 minutes. Those of you who know him know I got more than 3 sentences. His first sentence was, I don't like the commercialization they have done with Mother's Day. I ask again, what does Mother's Day mean to you? He continued with a fond memory he had of his mother when he was 9 years old. He went to the dime store and bought her a pearl-like pen with a gold inscription that said the word mother, and gave it to her for her Mother's Day gift. He said she wore it to church that Sunday and every day thereafterwards until she died. By doing that, it made him feel very special, and it showed how much she appreciated and loved him. As he remembers that today, that makes Mother's Day have a special meaning for him. He shared with me a song that he used to sing when he was a child. I won't sing it because, as you know, I'm not in the choir. That's why. The poem is Happy Mother's Day. Many of you have probably sang it too. M is for millions, things she gave me. O means only that she was growing old. T is for the tears she shed to save me. H is for her heart of purest gold. E is for her eyes with loving light shining. R means right, and right she'll always be. Put them all together, they spell mother, a word that means the world to me. This poem was written by Howard Johnson in 1915. Thank you.
All right. Well, how was that, everyone? Wasn't that great? That was just wonderful. We still have lots of time before Shala's performance for us. We're so blessed to have her with us. And so as each person shared, it touched a part of me, it touched a memory. Did that do that for you as well? It did. And I found out I have a lot more in common with Dawn. We always say, gosh, we have so much in common. It's like, then you find out more and there's more. And it's so wonderful to know that these women said yes, and they were willing, and I knew if I put 3 minutes, they wouldn't be too scared. Was that true? Because you think you can do anything for 3 minutes, right? We can. And so we all gathered together in spirit. I asked them all to pray for me. I mean, I know I've had a wonderful, wonderful healing, because at the beginning of this week, I was like, oh my goodness, it's on my face. How can I go to church with a fat lip? And it was like, it's not about you, Deb. It's about the Spirit, and the spirit of loving God and serving and doing what it is that we've come here to do. And I think that's what mothers do. They nurture. Some do it better than others. My mother, I know she did the best that she could do. She also was a mother to her 7 siblings growing up. That's a hard life to have. And so she taught me many things. And since she passed well over 20 years ago now, I just know that I often will say now, these are the gifts that my mother gave me. She taught me to appreciate the wonderful things in life, to always dress your best wherever you go, and never go out with dirty underwear, because you might get in an accident. Did your parents ever tell you that? My mom did. You never know when you go to the doctor's office. So as I went to the doctor's office on Thursday and Friday, that's all I could think of was my mom was just hovering saying, make sure you have clean underwear. And it was just those little moments of the gifts. My mom loved food, and she was a great teacher. And she also she loved to cook when she was available. She also had issues. She raised 4 children. And the youngest, my sister, was 3 months old when my father died. So she had many difficulties in her life. But we had the fortunate opportunity of being raised and nurtured by Catholic nuns. And they loved us. And they made exceptions for bringing in my sister, who was 3 months old at the time, into this day home. So my mom worked full time with 4 kids, and we were all under the age of 6. And so mothers they bring up this energy and this stamina and this ability to move forward despite the circumstances. Wouldn't you say that if you think about your mother and that mothering part of you? You have the ability to move through difficulties in life and look for that brighter side in our world. And so as you think about your mother today, whether she's living or she has passed, cultivate and nurture that aspect that is in you, that is the gift or the many gifts that she gave you. My children did have the opportunity of taking care of my mom. Sasha knew both of her grandparents and her grandmothers, and she loved them both, and they loved her. And the most loving thing I think she ever did for my mom died of lung cancer. She was a smoker. And on her last days, she never gave up her cigarettes. Walking around with the oxygen tank, she never gave up her cigarettes. And so, Sasha, how old are you? You're in high school. She was 18 when my mom, we took care of her. We nurtured her in her death. And everyone, including her dad, would light my mom. She had no breath, but she still wanted her cigarette. And I still remember the shock and awe at seeing Sasha, who didn't smoke, lighting my mom's cigarette for her. It was just crazy love. That's all I can say. Because we all fed her, nurtured her, changed her, cleaned her, all those things as she passed away in our home. And it was a loving experience, and very, very hard as well. And so when you think of those fun times that you had with your mom, it's great. I mean, I have laughter because of my mother, because I call myself crazy love all the time, and she was that. She was a fun woman, sometimes like John's family, a little bit too much fun. But She only had 3 minutes, but she'd have given us more stories. But, in 3 minutes' time to nurture and love yourself and think about your mother, even if it wasn't a pleasant experience, there are good things that happened to you and through you, through that mothering energy. And if your mother wasn't able to do it, maybe your grandmother did. My grandmother did it for me. She taught me love. She taught me patience. She taught me to not say bad things about people. She taught me when I was pregnant at 18, it happens in the best of families. And so all those gifts that your mother has given you, honor them today. And if your mother's still living, hopefully you call her and let her know how much you love her. And so on that note, we just give thanks for Mother's Day, for mothering energy, for all of you who mothered me through this experience of having this infection, which is not contagious, I want you all to know. And to have Spirit move through each one of us, guide us and direct us. Because I asked them to take it into prayer and see what came up for them. And if it was right for them to do it, to share their experience with us. And they said yes, and they did it. So happy Mother's Day to everyone as we heal and grow and nurture ourselves together. Thank you everyone for being here today on this beautiful Mother's Day. Thanks, honey. All right.